Let's welcome to the show Wisconsin Congressman. He is Congressman Scott Fitzgerald. Thanks for joining us, Congressman. Okay, so we have fights now. We're hearing Democrats are saying Pelosi, reports coming in, you should call the House back into session. She still refuses to do that. Why?
You know, Liz, we had our conference last week as the event started to transpire, and Leader McCarthy was adamant in talking to members and saying, what do you guys think? How do you feel about this? Should we come back? I think a lot of members felt that there was a sense of urgency there, that we needed to be in D.C. We needed to start to wrap our minds around what exactly was going down. And so not only the invitation, but the request was made that members of Congress return to D.C. The focus was on veterans. The focus was on the committees that were appropriate, as Congressman McCall just discussed, and we did that. And the Republicans came back in force, and we had, we tried to make the push today to bring Congress back to deal with these issues.
The Pentagon is saying hundreds of Americans are still behind terror lines. We have generals in CENTCOM saying that is what's happening. We've got House Republicans and Democrats saying they continue to get phone calls from Americans in Afghanistan saying we still need to get out. Now we've got dozens of House lawmakers saying President Biden needs to come up with a plan for rescuing them. But Nancy Pelosi still doesn't seem to think that this is a desperate situation, according to her critics in Congress, and fears are ratcheting up that Democrats could lose control of the midterms and the House, rather, next year, and that tax and spend is in jeopardy, that the Democrats and Pelosi are trying to change the headlines away from that.
Yeah, and we offered that plan. I mean, what we discussed as a conference and what one of my Wisconsin colleagues, Mike Gallagher, had offered was a piece of legislation that really would have defined kind of where we're at, I believe. The biggest concern I have right now is the administration, and Jen Psaki doubled down on this today. They're trying to normalize relationships with the Taliban. I mean, what you have to remember is this is 75,000 members of what basically is a militia. This is not a formalized government. There is no elected body. There's no hierarchy other than what you would find in any type of militia. So, what comes next after they make the push to say, listen, the Taliban is legit, and Secretary Blinken talked about it today, they're going to try and push cash to them. They're going to try and fund the Taliban, and that's certainly something that any member of our conference is not going to stand for.
Congressman Scott Fitzgerald, thanks for joining us. It's good to have you on. Come back soon.
Thanks, Liz.
Okay, up
Thank
next,
you.
we're going to give you an update